Fuck. What's good, Green Screen Entertainment fans? Your boy Jay Green back at it again. This time I'm bringing you my review for Avengers Infinity War. Now let me tell y'all like this. This marks the 18th film in the entire MCU franchise. It started way back in 2008 with Iron Man, and it's been leading up to this. Now in Avengers, when they first assembled, at the very end credit scene, you saw Thanos. Now this guy is supposed to be the dude that can make the whole universe go away with a snap of his fingers. So leading up to this movie, we're wondering, are they gonna deliver on this villain? Are they gonna deliver on the modern day Darth Vader? The guy that we're supposed to be so in fear of, the guy that can destroy our heroes that we've been following all this time. And I'm gonna tell you like this movie delivered far beyond my expectations. I'm gonna try to break this movie down the best way I know how without trying to be too much of a fanboy, but I'm gonna break it down more as a film because I don't want to tell you really anything that goes on in this film. I want you to be as fresh as possible because this movie is well worth a trip to an IMAX theater, a 3D showing, whatever, on the real. Now, I'm gonna give you some things that I liked, and I'm gonna give you some things that I didn't like. All right, we're gonna start with the good shit first. So, number one, as a film, this movie looks beautiful. This movie held weight. This movie had stakes. This movie knew when to be funny. It knew when to take itself serious. It had smooth ass through lines, no slow moments at all. The moments that calmed down for the right reasons. They kept you invested. They kept you on the edge of your seat with dialogue. So to me, there was no slow moments of this movie, but there was an abundant amount of action that made sense and was crucial to furthering the plot along. If you saw Civil War, and I hope that you did if you are a Marvel fan or a fan of action films in general, Civil War had one of the most entertaining battle scenes at the airport. This movie has like 20 times those types of scenes that get you that pumped up, that entertained of what you would have seen in the comics when you were reading these stories, all these characters interacting, their banter, their powers, showcasing their true powers, what they're really capable of, almost even more than they've done in their own standalone films. This movie was phenomenal on so many levels as just a film. Now I'm going to tell y'all straight off like this. There are show stealers in this film. Every film is going to have that person that stole the show. Guess who the stealers of the show were? The Russo brothers. And the reason I'm going to tell you that, look, there's like 1,000 fucking characters in this damn movie. So everybody's got they just do. This is true. But if you ask me personally, the Russo brothers are the shining stars of this film because of the fact is when they took over with Captain America, Winter Soldier, and then they did Civil War, the one thing that they integrated into the MCU was a grounding of the characters, some arc to the characters, some real great emotional type storytelling. When they did Captain America, Winter Soldier, it was basically like a 70s spy thriller. Then they brought in some real differences in ideologies when it came to Civil War. You were on Tony Stark's side. You were on Captain America's side. You understand why they beefing. You was hella invested in all of that shit. And you're wondering, where's it gonna go by the end of that film? The culmination of all of these films, from introducing us to Thanos when the Avengers first assembled, now to this, and now with the storytelling and being able to put all these characters together with their banter, with their powers, with the action, and no portion of this film was slow at all. It was all necessary. I give credit where credit is due. The writers and directors, the Russo brothers, phenomenal work. To piggyback even more off of the Russo brothers, what I'm gonna say is like this. When I'm watching DC movies, okay, so I'm not trying to put like any type of beef between Marvel and DC, I love both of them, but in the end of the day, Zack Snyder is a good filmmaker, but the one thing that takes me out, aside from storytelling, that's a whole nother subject, but the one thing that takes me out of a lot of the DC films is how fake they look. One of the most magical things in film is when you can meld CGI with practical effects. Okay? I love what Marvel has done with all of their films. As fantastical as these films are, as terrific as these space battles look in Guardians of the Galaxy, or Doctor Strange and all his magical powers and all those types of things like that. And with this film going from planet to dimension and things of this nature, everywhere that this movie will take you, it still looks grounded in a reality that you can believe. You're gonna see some magical type looking things, but for whatever reason, they look very realistic. I mean, the work on this film, like I said before, it's beautiful. You're never taken out of this film because of like terrible CGI. At least I wasn't. I thought this movie was flawless when it comes to the look and keeping you in this movie the whole way through. Wonderful. Again, directing from the Russo brothers. Phenomenal. Top notch. You know, I'm driving home and I'm thinking to myself, a few years back, everybody was in awe of a movie called Boyhood. Y'all remember Boyhood? It was up for an Oscar for Best Picture. Now, this director had taken a couple different actors over a 12-year time frame and kind of filmed their lives, if you will. I mean, he made up the story, but he basically filmed their lives. And everybody was like, wow, what an achievement. Now, then I thought to myself around that time, there was another movie that came out similar to that. It's called Harry Potter. I thought those movies were better, but that's just me. Now, even though Harry Potter was also filmed over a long period of time, it was still the same actors and maybe a couple of different directors. Not a whole lot. And it was one basic through line that was written in books. We're talking about a movie franchise that started in 2008, multiple directors, multiple sequels for specific characters, and the engine that kept this all going, Kevin Feige and the whole Marvel team, should be applauded for what came about that I saw on the screen tonight. This shit was phenomenal. And when you see this movie and everything coming to a head with Thanos, with these characters and everything that they go through, it's fucking phenomenal just to think about. This is 10 years in the making. Wonderful. Now remember, in the beginning of the review, I told you I'm gonna tell you about some things that I liked and some things that I didn't like. So, gotta be honest with y'all. The one thing that I didn't like, not a goddamn thing. The only thing I can even say that I did not like about this film was the fact that I do not know where it's gonna go. What are they gonna do? It ends. That's all I can tell you, is it ends. I don't know what's gonna happen. I gotta fucking wait. Hate that shit. Look, y'all, you know how things go. If I love the movie, I ain't gonna tell you shit. And in this particular case, I really can't tell you shit. You know, based on all the movies that have been going on for the past 10 years, that this guy Thanos is trying to get these Infinity Stones. And if he gets the Infinity Stones, y'all fucked up. So that's what this movie's about. That's all I'm gonna say to you. Do what you gotta do to get your ass to this damn movie. It is well worth the price of admission. I promise you that. The acting is flawless, the direction is great, the storytelling is great. You're gonna have emotions of up and down and all of that shit. You're gonna be on the edge of your seat. It is a wonderful, wonderful time at the theater. We're getting the summer season kicked off right with Avengers Infinity War. You heard it from your boy right here, first and foremost. Get your ass to Mars. No, I'm playing. Get your ass to the IMAX theater. This movie's on the up and up. Yo, I hope I gave you a little bit of insight into the quality of this film. Not gonna give you shit on that story, but I hope he gave you insight into the quality of this film and why just with that alone is worth checking this movie out. Yo, do me a favor. If you like what you heard, if you like what you saw, go ahead and give me a like, give me a subscribe. Yo, boy, I'm out.